Save Chapman Elementary, a visual demonstration. Chapman Elementary is located in the northwest neighborhood of Portland, Oregon. Chapman Elementary is also the only neighborhood school for the entire inner west side for the city of Portland. This includes Goose Hollow, Slabtown, the Pearl, Downtown. The city of Portland decided to build more buildings and create two new neighborhoods, the Pearl and Slabtown. They issued city permits. They created high-density, tall buildings and two new neighborhoods. Children began to move in these buildings, and more children moved into these buildings, and even more children moved into these buildings. And the only neighborhood school was Chapman Elementary. Let's see if we can get all these kids in. Ooh, it's getting crowded in there. Oh my gosh, I think it's really getting critically crowded in there. Chapman Elementary takes every student in its catchment. It has no cap. It does not have a wait list. This is what a public neighborhood school does and looks like. Wow, that's pretty crowded. What happens if these two students want to go to the closest school near Chapman? MLC is located on Cooch Street. It used to be a neighborhood school, but now it's an option-in program. This is the difference between an option-in program and a neighborhood school. Hey, let me in. Hey, we can't get in because MLC is an option-in program. They cap their numbers, whereas a neighborhood school cannot cap their numbers. They have to continue accepting every child in its catchment, even when the city of Portland keeps building new buildings in and around and creating new neighborhoods without considering another neighborhood school. Now we have more students coming into the neighborhood, into their own neighborhoods also, the Pearl and Slabtown, and the only neighborhood school available to them is Chapman. And we see that our kids can't get into MLC. 80% of the students who go to MLC are not from the neighborhood. You can see the inequality in having a neighborhood school and an option-in program where in an overcrowded situation, this school goes untouched and Chapman suffers. This is not fair and equitable. The burden should be shouldered by many schools in the surrounding area. Let's take our two students and see where else they might go if they can't get into MLC. Here our students have now approached Ainsworth, which is an elementary school in the Southwest. It's a very unique situation because one half of it is a neighborhood school and the other half of it is a Spanish immersion school that is you lottery in, and it's also capped its numbers. So the interesting thing about that is if you are even in the same building, a neighborhood student can't get in. Although there are neighborhood students in the Spanish immersion, they get to cap their numbers, and so there are higher amounts of students in the neighborhood portion. So let's see what happens when our students try to get in. Hey, let us in. Chapman's overcrowded. Hey, can we get in? Hey, please let us in. We can't get in either at Chapman. So neither can a neighborhood Ainsworth in the neighborhood program can't get in, and neither can Chapman students because it is a option-in program that caps its numbers, and you get in by applying and through a lottery system. So now here our students are asking the neighborhood portion of Ainsworth, hey, can we get in? Sure, we have some room. Great. Ainsworth neighborhood has been awesome because they've actually taken in, over the last couple years, 10% of Chapman. But the problem with Chapman is, even though Ainsworth neighborhood is taking in, more buildings are still going up around Chapman and in its catchment. And so even though the neighborhood portion of Ainsworth has taken our kids, more kids keep coming into the neighborhood because the city of Portland keeps building buildings. And so now all these kids are still stuck at Chapman because there's no choice for them to go to any other school. A few of them more can go into the neighborhood portion at Ainsworth, but really not that many without creating, I mean, if we put all these kids in, what's going to happen to the neighborhood portion of Ainsworth? It's going to become critically overcrowded. So this is the inequality going on the inner west side of Portland. Around Chapman, meaning in the Pearl, it's making this new neighborhood, and Slabtown, without building a new elementary school. So Chapman has been the only school to shoulder this burden. Ainsworth has helped us a bit in the neighborhood portion. Spanish immersion has not helped us at all, and neither has MLC. You can see the inequality in this scenario where these option-in schools cannot be touched and the burden is placed on the neighborhood school.